know that the president was coming? And can you give a little insight into what the last like 48 hours have been like? And also, were you nervous? I know you're not a nervous guy typically, but were you nervous at all about the crowd reaction to the president?
So when he was elected, he called me the night that he was elected and told me to get down to the party, the after party, and I went, and he wanted to come to the Conor McGregor fight the next night. And obviously he didn't know what he didn't know at the time, how crazy it would be. And then he called me the next morning and said, you know what, I'm going to ruin your event if I go. I think it'll ruin it, and they'll have to shut everything down, and I don't think it's a good idea. Let's plan this again, when there's more time to plan. And just to tell everybody, that I don't know if you know the history, but when we first bought this company, venues didn't want us. No venue wanted the UFC. And at that time, Trump reached out and asked us to come to the Taj Mahal. And that's where we ended up doing our first two events under the Zuffa banner. Cut us great deals, showed up at the first fight, stayed to the end. We did two events with him. Then we moved on to the Meadowlands. And when we left and went to the Meadowlands, he showed up to that event too, came to the first fight, stayed all night, was always good. Everything that ever happened to me in my career, Trump was the first guy to pick up the phone and reach out to me. From getting back on pay-per-view, getting our first TV deal when we did the big Fox deal. I mean, the guy always reached out to me. Then as it was starting to hear rumors that he was running for president, I got a call one day from like the New York Times, and they said, we're hearing that that Trump is going to ask you to speak at the Republican National Convention. Are you going to do it? And I was like, what? First of all, he hasn't called me and asked me anything. I don't know anything about this or whatever. And then finally, he did call me, and he said, and this is exactly how he said it, if you don't want to do this, I completely understand. But I'd be honored if you'd speak at the Republican convention for me. And I was like, I'm honored that you asked me, and of course I will. And I did it, and I'm telling you, since the guy has become president, I've been to the White House 4 times for dinner. He's been the most stand-up guy since the day I met him. And he told me, I want to come to a UFC event eventually. So we had dinner last Thursday at the White House, and he said, I'm coming to New York. And I was like, oh my God, that's going to be a rough one. Why don't we do Vegas on the 14th? And New York was the only one that he could do, so he came tonight. And I think that there's this craziness going on politically right now. If you're a Trump guy, you don't like certain types of people, or you don't like, and it's really, there's a lot of bullshit in that. The country's in a crazy place right now with all that. Did you see Michael Rappaport here tonight? Nobody hates President Trump more than Michael Rappaport, okay? And I'm very good friends with Michael Rappaport. I don't know if anybody hates, maybe Snoop hates him more than Rappaport does, and I'm very good friends with Snoop and lots of other people that are on one side or the other. This is a guy who's been a really good friend of me for a long time. He's done everything that he ever said he would do, and tonight he showed up to the event. And I think as fans of the sport, I think all of us can sort of appreciate, whatever political side you sit on, that the President of the United States came to one of our events.
Yeah, but you